My men, come here, round table, my guys, okay? If your woman is starting to talk that way, okay, so we're gonna try to do this again. All right, everybody, welcome to This Needs Wine. I'm your girl Egyptia, and we are back. Now, I know I've been saying we're back, I'm gonna be consistent, and then I've been lying, but life has literally been going about 10 miles per hour. I have a new background, of course, because I moved. I literally moved like twice in like 10 months, got engaged. So life has just been going wild. But I did tell myself, and I remember telling my best friend, one of my best friends, that this year I am going to start back podcasting and really stay consistent with it. So before we get started, because we're going to talk about love. That's something that is like my favorite thing to talk about is love and relationships. So, but before we get started, we're going to go ahead and, as we're supposed to, we got a new wine that we're going to try. And the wine is on a cheaper end. It's kind of weird that I'm standing while recording, but it is what it is. So we have Winemaker Selection Reserve. So this is what we're going to try today. We're going to see how it is. It's a Pinot Noir. So I usually like Pinot Noir. Like I like, yeah, it's strong, but it's not as strong as a Cab. So we're going to go ahead and see what this tastes like. We got to switch it a little bit and then, very good. Rich, robust, my favorite word. So I'm going to just put just a little bit because I'm not going to go ham because I celebrated my bestie's birthday and I think I've done enough for like 2 weeks. So I'm just gonna just stay, kind of just, where I need to be in terms of that. So, anyways, I wanted to talk about the new season 7 of Love is Blind. This season has had the trashiest man I think I've ever seen ever. But I think what it has shown or what it shows, if anything, it has shown how much craziness that Black women go through when we're out here dating, trying to find the one. And looking on it, I'm like, oh my God, I am so glad I got taken off the streets. Granted, relationships aren't easy, but oh my God, crazy, crazy, crazy. So I'm over here just playing with the lights. What I wanted to really talk about was instead of just doing kind of like the narration of like what happened each episode, I really was more inclined and invested in actually talking about each couple's relationships and the things that I would see, the things that I would learn, and how it kind of correlates to, the issues in society when it comes to love and relationships. And I had to start with Tyler and Ashley. And I got my notes on my old phone here. I had to take a picture of it because I put my notes on where I'm recording. But Tyler, you know what? I knew when this man was a biracial, light-skinned man with low eyes, he was up to no good. Now, not me, low-key throwing shade, because my man is a biracial man that's light-skinned with low eyes. Oh God, I'm so wrong for that. Sorry, babe. But I don't know what it was, but when I saw him, I said, low eyes, light skin. Hmm. Talk about God just a little too much, praying just a little too much. I said, I was like, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I don't know. For me, and that's something that a lot of women talk about is like, when a guy really starts to try to be overly, like, I don't want to say overly Christian, but like try to make it seem like their faith in God is like really strong. They usually have like 1,000 skeletons in their closets. And Tyler was no other. I knew it and I felt it. But, anyways, so just going off of my notes here. So, well, we're kind of like being introduced to Tyler. He's just seeming like this, I don't know, hopeless romantic that's just desperate to finding his wife and his girl.
talking about things that I never opened up with anyone else about, and sit there and close my eyes and talk to people, and it just feels at home, like I've known them for years. Smiling ear to ear.
And then, we have Ashley, who is just this stunningly gorgeous black woman. Apparently, she's Nigerian. Her father's Nigerian, and I mean, just this stunningly black woman who is professional, well-to-do, got her life together, and just the quintessential, professional black woman that we all know and love, or aspire to be.
Age is nothing but a number for me. It is hard in your 30s. We're talking through the clearance rack, trying to find a man, find like a hidden gem back on the back floor. Ooh, my sweating. Still shocks me on why I'm single.
So these two link up in the pods, and from that moment I thought that their banter, I think they had every recipe into, what could be a really nice connection, because not only like did they have the so not only did they have the um just the banter, that connection, that ooh, like, that type of thing. They also had, it seemed like they were also developing like this really, really nice friendship with each other. And just kind of like, I would love when they would be like, Tyler, Tyler, Ashley, Ashley, those type of things. And you could really tell that they were fond of each other. And this is where, I'm going off of just what I remember, my thoughts and some of my notes, but a lot of this is just freestyle, honestly. So I might be going just like side to side with this. I hate to say this, but the moment Tyler prayed in the pods, I said, "Oh, he one of them. He is one of them. One of them, I mean, a guy who really uses God and Christianity to get their way with men, with women. And for me, those are like the worst type of manipulators in the world. Spiritual abuse is a real thing. And it's definitely something that we don't talk about. We don't talk about that enough, where a man really uses prayer and Christianity and God and the Bible to try to just maneuver their way and trying to get what they want from a woman. So the minute that he prayed, I was like, I hope I'm wrong. Of course, I hope I'm wrong. But I bet you that this man has 1,001 skeletons in his closet, and they're gonna come out some way, somehow. And I'll be damned if I was right. I was right. This guy, this guy. Okay, before we even get to what we find out, throughout the season. So, anyways, um, Tyler talks about, what he has gone through in terms of, one, not having a father in his life, and that, his mother was disowned by her father because of the fact that she had a child with a man that was black. I believe that he said that his mother was Siberian, European, of course. I hope I said the country name right. I probably butchered it. But, and his dad is black. So his mother only really had her mother. So, and then, his grandmother ended up passing away. And then, so then he kind of watched his mother struggle through grieving, and grieving by herself, and really just facing life alone and raising children on her own. And it was really just a heartfelt story. When he talked about it, just the emotions that he showed, um, about these things. And what I think is just such a gag is the fact that he went through being a fatherless child, and then here he comes doing the same thing to other children. So anyways, so they ended up, Ashley and Tyler ended up matching. Now, in terms of Ashley, I hate to say, okay, the thing that I do remember from her was really the absence of her father. Everything else is just kind of a blur, and I hate that, because Tyler's story and Tyler's shenanigans and skeletons in his closet are just so ridiculous that you almost kind of forget, just what Ashley has gone through, or what was really her storyline in the pods and in, the beginning parts of the show. But Of course, we know she's beautiful. She seems to be just this hella savvy and just really just intelligent black woman. I mean, every time I would see her on that screen, I'm like, God, look at this. Just stunning. Oh my God. And just well spoken, very eloquent, and then, also just really wanting to find her husband. And I think this is where Tyler coming into her life in general is just so sad, because I was that, black woman that was, in the professional world and really trying to build my career, but really, really wanting love. And because of that, you really put yourself at a detriment, and you really end up being taken advantage by so many dudes that are just using certain things to really hurt you or manipulate you just for them to get what they want. And Lord knows I got stories for that for days, because I tell you one thing, when you are just too nice, these dudes, and these dudes that want to talk about God all the time, way worse, way worse. Now, I'm not trying to throw shade on Christian men or anything, but there has to be a deeper conversation in the black male Christian community about how, and honestly, like, people of color, honestly, not even just black people, black Americans, black people all over the world, and different ethnicities as well, on how much men really um use religion as a way to really get their way with women, and how sad it is and how manipulative it is. And I just know God was just looking down on Tyler and was like, bro, I ain't got nothing to do with this. You got one more time to say my name and try to call me cuz sir. So while they ended up getting engaged and they're off to Mexico, we find out just the biggest tea ever. So I think it was story time with Ricky. She broke the story of um, Tyler having 3 kids that apparently are bonus, not bonus, I'm sorry, donor kids, right? So then, when we kind of when they get back from Mexico, and they have that time where they get their own apartments, 2 weeks before the wedding, that's when Tyler decides to drop the news that I got 3 donor kids.
It's not your kids, but they are your kids. And it's with someone that you know.
So my biggest thing was just the fact that you didn't disclose that in the pods. And that's something that I cannot stand that people do. Don't try to hide things and not allow the other person to make a decision as to what they want to do with their life. Because at the end of the day, this person is thinking about having a life with you, and you're taking away their choice, their right to choose as to what exactly they want. Because Ashley could have just decided, okay, well, I'm going to rock out with him, and 3 donor kids, he don't have nothing to do with them, that means I won't have anything to do with them. He was just trying to help a couple conceive, because they were apparently 2 lesbian couples that were married. So I could see, Ashley being like, all right, very untraditional thing, but I'm down for it. But no, I feel like a lot of times men don't realize how much you make things worse when you're not being transparent. And I'm not talking about honest. I'm not just talking about honesty, transparency. Because my thing is, honesty is more, if I ask you a question, you're honest with me, you tell me the truth. Transparency is laying everything out on the table. This is what I have, this is who I am. Are you willing to be here or not? And I think that was the thing that Ashley was just telling him, I had to think about it and stuff like that. And child, she took about 16 hours, and here we are. Now, for me, the gag, this man, Ashley asked him, I'm going to try to tag in the video right here. This guy, this girl asked him, so do the kids know what you look like? You know what he says? Tu sais qu'est-ce qu'il a dit? Il a regardé la fille. He looked at her dead in the eyes and he said, "No, no, they don't. I don't think so. I don't believe so. I don't think so." Really? So, meanwhile, we're the ones watching and we're just like, did this, did he really just lie? He just lied and said, "I don't think so." Meanwhile, we got all this social media because his baby moms comes out and shows pictures of of Tyler and the kids that they shared together during Christmas, I think birthdays, and them just hanging out and videos and stuff like that. So the kids don't know what you look like, Tyler? Really, Tyler? Really, Tyler? Really? The kids don't know what you look like. So then, oh my God. Yo, last week the tease was just dropping. I was watching Jesse Wu, and Jesse Wu is like one of like my favorite TV personalities. um she's a fellow sister, as you know, she says, everybody says, that's her thing. um love Jesse Wu. So she actually had a combination of she combined herself with tea time with Ricky, or whatever, story time with Ricky. Anyways, and lo and behold and lo, the person that came. So first of all, when I was watching the video, I was expecting for the baby mama to come out, but when it was the baby mama's wife, I said, "Oh, c'est bouche bée, bouche bée, bouche bée, bouche bée, bouche bée." I'm telling you, I was so shocked. I said, "No, that no, it's not." So we found out that her name is, I believe it was Dion. And so, well, okay, let's first kind of dissect what the, because the baby mama came out first and she did, some clips or whatever. She told her story on, I think it was TikTok. So baby mom says, and her name was Bry, I believe. So she was stating how she was married to a woman, which, that's the person that, Jesse Wu ended up interviewing. So she says that, her and Tyler were like the best of friends, and they had decided that, with the wife that she had, they wanted to conceive, and they decided to ask Tyler. I don't know why you wouldn't go to a sperm bank and just call it a day, but if you want to make things more complicated, I guess that'll work. So they ended up, she ended up getting pregnant or whatever, and then she says that her wife left her right before the baby came. So, I'm thinking, I'm like, "Oh, that's so sad. You got left when you had the baby." And then Tyler ended up, showing up and wanting to be there for the kid. And then eventually, he said, "Well, I, do want to be involved in Cairo's life." I guess the son's name was Cairo, in Cairo's life, because, I was without a dad. I don't want him to be without a dad. So I thought that was really dope. Then we, we get the point of view of the wife. That's the part where I was like, wow, the way people can lie to garner sympathy is ridiculous. So, insert the wife of the baby mom. She then states that no, actually, I was getting cheated on with Tyler. So, we were supposed to be doing a turkey based thing. I go away for 2 weeks. I come back and old girl is pregnant. Now, I know I wasn't there, neither was the turkey base, but yet Tyler was. You know, one plus two was not equaling, two. It was equaling three and four, and literally three and five, because, it's five of them, Tyler, baby mom, and all three kids. That's five. All right. So, I could not believe it. So she was talking about how abusive, her marriage was, and how, Tyler and the baby mama worked tirelessly to kick her out of the picture. She actually signed a birth certificate of the first child, and then the baby mom did admit that the twins that she has, her and Tyler basically had a relationship, but she was ashamed to admit that because she's always lived her life as a lesbian. So that's why she was trying, and it's like almost like bits and pieces that she was trying to give, but she realized she had to give the whole scope of the story. And then, with the wife, she was saying how, Bri, the baby mother, didn't really explain that the fact that Tyler had moved in, that he was really around for the kids and all this stuff. And listen, and then we find out that Tyler dealt with a bunch of eviction notices. So homie needed a house. So this dude ran off and had kids with old girl so he could stay in a house because he was homeless. He couldn't keep a house. He couldn't keep his rent up. He couldn't keep his rent up. Like, really? Oh, Jesus Christ. Lord. And this man over here is praying. They're in the bed, Ashley and Tyler in the bed praying, oh, cover us, Lord. And I know God is just looking like, just mad. Why are you putting my name in this mess? Gosh. So, anyways, and then also we find out that Tyler owes women a bunch of money. One woman he owes like $10,000 to. And I'm just like, not Tyler the swindler. Tyler the swindler. Oh my God. Lord have mercy. But yeah, I mean, I think, one thing that I, realized like watching this show and their story, it really shows, the things that Black women go through in order to find love. Just the fact that, and they tell women, especially Black women, they tell Black women, oh, you need to choose better, blah 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 blah. But when we are presented with what we believe is better, because a man shows us a facade and sells us a great piece of real estate and we go for it, and this is what happens, and yet we're told we got to pick better. Really? Really? you know a lot of people, because there's women that do it too, they may have, bones in their closets, and they show up a specific way, and then, you know men have to deal with the repercussions of that. But another thing too, that's probably gonna really, like, it's probably gonna make people really mad, but crazy part is I kind of can have a feeling of maybe understanding Tyler. Bear with me. This is what I'm thinking, right? Um, what if Tyler had a change of like wanting to start from scratch? Maybe he just wanted something new. Um, being able to have a very traditional relationship, but he realized that he took his 20s and did stupid crap, which is what most men do. They do stupid crap during their 20s, and then once they want to get their act together in their 30s, they meet a woman who doesn't come with all of these. A woman in her 30s may come with emotional baggage, but like the extra baggage of other things, because of how the man was not really thinking about his future during his 20s. Now she kind of has to deal with that on her back. Now granted, they tell us choose better. Oh, and then on the same coin, they say, well, you can't have nobody that's perfect. Everybody's lived their lives. But I'm thinking, what if he was just thinking, okay, I just want, he literally, I feel like he was thinking he could press Alt Control Delete and just thought that he could start over, and thinking that, these kids wouldn't pop up. Honey, if they didn't pop up from Love is Blind, they would have popped up 20 years from now with whomever wife you would have had at the time. So either way, these kids exist. But yeah, I'm telling you, that was really, triggering for me, because that is really something about the dating world. And a lot of men tend to do is really trying to show up as the nice guy. And I'm sorry, I don't believe in nice guys. Nice guys are not nice. And to be honest with you, nice guys are not nice because they are Tyler. They show up being this, like they're coming on this white horse to come and save you from your past and your heartaches. just for them to come with the most unbelievable skeletons and crazy crap in their past that affects the future that you're trying to have with them. So I'm telling you, it's really triggering to see that, the black, we have more black, we finally did not have one, token black girl like we do every season, right? And yet we had more than one black woman, and all of them came with trash dudes. We had Monica with Ginger Boy, who is like point 0.5 Nigerian, and he showed us how Nigerian his bloodline was. Yo, listen, that's crazy to me. That's so it that's crazy to me. Like, to see that the black women were dealt this terrible of a hand. Wild. Wild, 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 wild. But as much as I feel so bad for Ashley. I really do. I really do. Because you go on a show with the purest intentions, and then you link up with a dude whose intentions weren't really that pure. And then apparently there's rumors going around, allegedly, that he did this for the money. So who knows? Who knows? And I'm telling you, I've never been so ready for a reunion in my life than this one. Because I want to know, is Ashley and Tyler still together? Did they do another wedding? Were the kids were the twins the flower girls this time? Was Cairo the ring bearer? Or what? But yeah, I think, it's a deeper conversation, really, seriously, in terms of religion, Christianity, and how men really use, excuse me, how men really use God to make themselves seem like they're so safe and so honest and transparent, and they're none of that. And I think, if anything, it makes it even worse, because here I am thinking you're a good dude, a God-fearing man, and you're just a piece of crap like the rest of them. You're a liar, just like the rest of them. You're a cheat. Oh, and also adding the part of the wife, she said, where he had a fiance and old boy was just cheating on her with everybody in their little crew. And when they had the gender reveal for when, the first kid that came along, he brought the fiance there, didn't even tell her that that was his child that Bri was carrying. Ms. On me. I probably look a little cockeyed when I said that, because I was even cockeyed when I heard that. Like, what? Mm, 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 mm. These dudes, these dudes, these dudes that say, "Let us pray," child. Mm. That's why, for me, like, in the dating world, I was always very skeptical of men that would say that we're Christians. You you can even ask my man. When I found out that he was like super duper Christian, that made me really petrified in getting with him, because just the experience that you have, with them. Like, seriously, like the experience that you have with Christian dudes, like, some they like, I hate to say this, like, most dudes that I know that are really, claim to be God fearing, and they love to read the word and follow the word. Um, and I have my own different feelings about, the Bible and Christianity, anyways. Um, my mindset is completely different from it, but I don't think I have ever really met a man that's proclaimed to be Christian, and they have just a clean slate, or they don't come with the most unbelievable baggage and unbelievable, just terrible behaviors that you couldn't even imagine. I, and it's sad, because you would like to think that if someone is such a lover of God and loves to talk about Jesus and pray and all these things, that this person really comes with the purest intentions. But a lot of times they just don't. They kind of come to manipulate and take what they want, and whatever happens happens. So, but yeah, I think there has to be a bigger conversation about, nice guys, nice religious guys, and how they're just not really that nice. I'm sorry. I mean, that's a lot of the time, that's the reason why a lot of women don't like to fall for the nice guy, because there's always something. There's always a gimmick. There's always, I don't know, there's always a crazy story of like a guy that comes in with just being the sweetest person ever, and he's a demon, okay? Just Satan's child roaming around this earth. Anyway, so thank you guys so much for listening. So I am going to try to see if I can record another episode this week, because I do want to tackle the next couple that I do want to tackle. Who was it? Oh my god, I'm forgetting just that fast. Because I did want to talk about Nick and Hannah. I think I'm going to have such an unpopular opinion, and I might just call it unpopular opinion. That's probably going to be the title of the next episode after this one, because it's definitely unpopular. So I definitely want to talk about them. And I do want to take some time to talk about Taylor and Garrett. They turned out to really be the most healthiest relationship that came out from this season. And I really want to pay homage to that, because, there is healthy love out there. Granted, he did lie about texting his ex, but, whatever. He got around Tyler the liar, and told the truth. Okay, anyways. So make sure you like, subscribe, and definitely leave a comment. I definitely want to have a bigger conversation about the topic of nice guys really not being that nice, and religious dudes just kind of being diabolical and just little Satans roaming around the earth. So anyways. All right, everybody, you have a good one, and I'll see you next time.
That's what I'm saying.
Come here, round table, my guys, okay? If your woman is starting to talk that way,